Hey guys, Joe from survivethewild.us here. Just want to come out for a hike, try to shoot some usable video or uploadable video. It's getting warm. It's late spring. It's probably gonna hit about 80, I'd say 85 degrees today, and it's still early. And I'm in the shade, so that's probably about 70, and I'm wearing some clothes still, so it's getting warm. I want to talk a little bit about the last video I shot with the starting fire with everything wet with the cotton balls. First, I want to say to everybody that it was the cotton ball that caught. It wasn't the birch bark first. Though today I'm going to try to shoot a video with using just wet birch bark and Firesteel, so you guys can see that, and whoever doesn't know that will know what everyone else is talking about, that can be done. But the purpose of the last video was entirely different. I wasn't trying to show just birch bark. Matter of fact, it was my error to even introduce birch bark into the video as a variable. I should have just left it out altogether. But I have previously done that. Started fire with a wet or damp cotton ball, dried it out as good as I could, and got it to take a flame without birch bark. So birch bark wasn't a variable. Again, my error in introducing the birch bark into that. So today I want to actually show you some different birch bark. Everyone says that it was the birch bark that started, but the thing is that, well, first of all, I was watching it, and I was watching flames catch around it, but paper birch bark would catch under those circumstances. Not all birch bark would start under those circumstances. There's not all birches are paper birch, or the white birch. River birches are paper birch too, and they're more of a orangish. They have more of an orangish bark. But there's different kinds of birch bark, and I'm gonna take a look around here where I am real quick. All right, let me just scan the woods around here real quick where I am. Give you a look at the layout here. Type of land. So I'm in the shade here, over where it breaks and there's sunlight. Typically that's hardwood. So mostly where I am, these are hemlocks and pines. I pretty much call this a pine forest. I always feel like there's bears around. They tend to like this area, and then up there you'll find, you know, more birds and stuff like that in the hardwoods. Anyway, so here is a big old birch right here. Now, this is not a paper birch. I'm not sure what kind this is. I don't know all the names of the different birches. I just know them, you know, by their barks and the different uses that they are for, or better for, each one. So you can't peel, you know, where's my hand? You can't peel big strips off of this. It's more of like a, you know, it's almost like a dinosaur skin or something like that. Now, over here, if I spin around here, this is, again, I'm not sure the name. I call this like a gold birch. It has a goldish tone, you know, color to it. You could slice this open with a knife and get a good peel off. But as for what's outside, you know, flaking, it's real small stuff. You know, there's just not a lot of, you know, it's not a big paper thing. So, well, there's some bigger pieces up here. You know, definitely use these for taking flame and stuff, but not as useful for starting fire with just Firesteel wet. It might work. Slice it open, give it a try, but it's not what I would go for. Chances might be slim. Let's see, what else can I find for a birch? So, this little guy here, I know it's not much to look at, but this is a black birch. I never see these very big around here. Maybe I should take a closer look there. There might be some, they might just blend in. Anyways, The reason I wanted to talk about these for a second was these. All you gotta do is break a little twig off and smell it, and it smells like wintergreen. People chew on them. You can make tea out of them. They're useful. You can crush them up between stones and, you know, make a slurry for toothpaste or something like that. You can rub them on your teeth, you know, just careful not to, you know, get a splinter or something like that. But, you know, you can rub them on your teeth. You could chew on them. I like to just chew on them. But again, even a large tree like this, it's a birch, but it's not a paper birch. It's not going to be really great for fire starting. It won't work. It'll take a flame great. But spark is different. For spark, you're going for paper birch. To hedge your bets anyway. Well, here's a fallen one. So, and it's up off the ground a little bit. It's not all laying right on the ground. So I know some of this is going to be dry, not too waterlogged. Matter of fact, this tree looks pretty good. Probably fell not too long ago. I won't feel so bad stripping its bark since it's already on the ground. So I'm going to snag up a couple pieces here. Snag a couple pieces here. Yeah, that's very much like one of the ones I was looking at over there. There is better. There's real white, and like the whole thing that would peel off is just like, you know, paper. Not too thin that you can't, you know, spray it, but you still have it usable. But just so you know, there is better than this. But I think I'm gonna go with this stuff. Shouldn't have a problem. All right, guys. Nice little spot picked out here. I'll show you my weapons of choice today. EDC items. This is my I called it a Leatherman last time. It's a Gerber. I think it's a crux, Gerber crux. Just a cheapie, you know. It's got pliers, got a little knife on it. Nothing special. And I'm just gonna use this little blade on it to fray up the birch bark. And for a Firesteel today, I've got this is STW made by my brother, aluminum machine handle, 3/16 by 2.5 inch Firesteel in it, a little bit of paracord, and a P38 for a striker. And I'm actually going to use, since I have it, I'm going to use this as a striker because you know, the blade, I have more leverage to do it, but you could just easily use this blade. Anyways, let me get this birch bark wet. I'm not trying to start a fire today, just like I wasn't last time. Well, I'm trying to start fire. I'm not trying to build a fire. I'm not staying here. So, let me pick my poison. I'm gonna go with the thinner of the bunch, but it's still, you know, got a little bit of a base. Actually, I'll just take a couple pieces and let them sit in here. I'm going to set them upside down so that the paper side's down. I'll cut off the camera and just let them soak for a few. Nice day, starting to warm up. Hey guys, sorry. I don't know how much of that first one you got, but I started fire here with this guy, and then my camera got full, so it died and I didn't know it. So I got to make another one. So I got this birch bark that's been sitting in here the whole time. I'm gonna pull out and do it again. Just gonna shake it off. I'm not trying to dry it, I'm just trying to shake off the excess. excess water, but it's still wet, shiny wet. Just got this old log, prop it up on to do this. So I'm just trying to scrape like this to build a little frayed pile, as thin as I can get it. I'm just kind of using the tip. If you drag across the whole thing flat, you're going to get bigger pieces. If you use the tip to do it, you're going to get smaller frayed pieces. So just gonna build up a little pile here. And that's it. And I'm gonna go to work. So bring this over here. Comfortable. Last time this took a bit longer than I wanted it to. Let's see how this does. Get up over top, try to aim it down better. There you go. So Firesteel, knife blade or whatever, or strike, anything. And wet birch bark, and you can have fire. And that's what everybody was talking about when I was doing the cotton ball one, where even though I washed the cotton ball and it lit first before the birch bark, because it was thicker birch bark anyways, and it wasn't the paper outside stuff. And if you saw the video, I peeled into the birch bark, so I was actually getting the thicker inner portion, not the outside papery stuff. So it wouldn't have just taken a spark that easily. Maybe if I cut it up into real fine pieces, I could have done that, but that's really wasn't the purpose of that video. Anyways, Joe from survivethewild.us. Have a good one. Hey guys, forgot to say real quick, YouTubers have been, emailing me and leaving comments saying, I wish I had birch bark in my area. I wish there was birch bark everywhere, because it would make survival easier, but even where I live, there's not always birch bark. If you're up on, top of a mountain, or a little below the summit, like where all the Douglas firs are and stuff like that, there's birch bark it's pretty scarce, so it's not always an option. It's just good when you do have it. It makes fire and keeping a fire going a little easier. So I'm going to continue, since one of my mottos is fire equals life, and fire first should be the first survival priority, for a number of reasons that I won't itemize right here. I'm going to continue making videos on how to start fire in all different circumstances, adverse situations, with different materials, different types of materials, where X isn't an option, so you've got to use A, B, and C instead, blah blah blah. So stay tuned, and I hope I can bring you some new insightful experience and knowledge. Have a good one.